Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. Big man throw a stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just talk on the Friday. But throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Stevie dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep, and some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good morning, Globalists. Good morning, and welcome to your At a Glance program. Thank you for joining us this morning. It is a lovely day outside, and if you're tapping in from the United Kingdom and Europe, good afternoon to you. How is everyone doing? To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, deal subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning, good afternoon, welcome all. Thank you for joining us. Beat and Teach, good morning, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning. Good morning. Julie Roberts, good morning. Gloria Morris, good morning. Marcia Estee, Sharon Bernard, good morning. Who else is here? Abina Sarkodi. Is it Merle? Good morning. Good morning, and welcome, Ladybug. Good morning. Marcia Thomas, good morning. Arlene Scott, good morning. Barbara Simpson. Michelle McCoy, good morning. Sheena Kelly, Althea. Lisa Wood-Ladrick, good morning. Hugh Robotham, Bernice Nicholson. Good morning, everyone. TikTok, how are you all doing? Good morning. Colleen, good morning. Debbie, good morning. Brian, good morning. Roger, good morning. Six now, good morning. Everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Ekron Sound System, good morning. Pat Brown, good morning. The non-compliant government, the non-compliant prime minister. We know that much of Andrew Holness and his regime. But the Americans have also called out Andrew Holness, haven't they? The Americans have also called them out. You may know it as the United Nations, but for me, it's an American international organization, have called out the prime minister for his non-compliancy and matters of the country. Elder, good morning. That we will look at further into the program. But I want to roll back to yesterday's protests and some utterances made by different political figures from both sides of the fence that was there yesterday. BABSY GRANGE said something which, for me, it sparked two questions. The first question is Miss Grange lying to the protesters and to the public? And my second question is whether Miss Grange is attacking the Minister of Justice. Because you see, under the ministerial code, any member of the cabinet speaks in public, speak on behalf of the government. It's how we ought to perceive it. That when a cabinet minister speaks, real no real, how you do? When a cabinet minister speaks, Violet Watson, how you do? Janet McIntosh, they speak on behalf of the government. Now, we're going to listen to Babsy. We're going to listen to the full thing, but I want you to listen carefully to the Minister of Transgender and her utterances at the protest, Annie Jones. Because for me, there's two parts to it. Is either you're lying or you're attacking the Minister of Justice. Let's listen to what everybody have to say, but please zoom in on the Minister of Transgender, which will speak first. But we will go back to her after we listen to everybody else. But zoom in on what BABSY GRANGE says.
We're going to look into the act that governs the sex offences. I remember when we were debating in Parliament about the legislation, there were those advocates who said that we must protect the rights of the offenders, although they are offenders. And therefore the registry was not made public, but the information can be accessed. But the ordinary woman and the little girl and the family do not understand the bureaucracy. They do not understand how to access these things. And so we have to make the information more available.
We want justice! We want justice! No! No! We want justice! We want justice!
Today, I stand here with the Minister of Health. Today, I stand here with the Minister of State and the Minister of National Security. Today, I stand here with representatives from the opposition. And I'm saying to you, it's not about politics. And no one must destroy the hardships that has won in their country and the violence that they are facing. We must get one. And today, we are here to show our support for the nurses and to show our support for women who are being abused and for girls who are being abused and who are being raped and who are being killed.
She is my colleague, personally. I have spoken to her, but I can't say just because she's not well. She's not well. Right. And you can imagine if after going through an ordeal like that, you would not be okay either. Right? So she's not okay. So we are not okay. Yeah. And because she's not able to represent for herself out here today, we as a uniform body standing strong to let her know that nurse, we have your back and we are supporting you, baby. And we're against your cause. Important to be a part of this protest because as nurses, a nurse doesn't go as a singular. It's a plural, it's a body, right? What affects one affects all of us. And the fact that a nurse could be brutally attacked like that on her way to work, it affects us. When we got word, everybody was broken at the hospital because when we're out here, coming to the hospital to give up care, you could see us and think that it was okay in our uniform to attack her like that. No, we don't stand for that, and we stand in solidarity to say we are against abuse among children, females, and overall abuse. It is not acceptable. We are not accepting it. So today when we march and we put our voices together and we stand violence against women and children, it's a no.
I have been following the case, starting with a discussion with her husband shortly after the incident took place. I had a long talk with him and reassured him, having had discussion with the clinical team at the UHWI, that nurse Spacey, who was a worker at the UHWI, would get the best possible care, and she has been. It's a very traumatic experience. She not only needs clinical support, but she needs psychological support, and that is ongoing. So I'm in touch with the family through her husband.
It is with disbelief that we have to make this speech in 2025. It cannot, however, match the disbelief when I saw the video of the brutal attack on Nurse Spacey. I still cannot believe that in 2025, we have to stand here protesting against violence against women. We are supposed to be a civilized society. A civilized society is one that looks out for its most vulnerable. And it is unfortunate that our women today are still subjected to violence of this sort of nature.
Michael Nepper, Pauline Dixon, Sharon Peart, morning and welcome. Morning, Evan Bradford, morning. BABSY Grange says that the government is looking into the publication, into making the sex offenders register become public. On that utterance, I'm asking the minister, was she lying to the public when she said that? Because we are not quite clear. Babsy just pop up and said this no. But we're not quite clear what the government position is on the publication of the sex offenders registry. Because in her criticism, isn't then she's criticizing when she said some. That some, in my view, is Delroy Chuck. Because Delroy Chuck was the one, the Minister of Justice, who was pushing back on the publication of the sex offenders register, thinking that they'll be punished twice by doing that. So this is where we have two different positions from government ministers on the issue. BABSY Grange said we are looking into, we're going to look into make it public. Delroy Chuck has another position on it. What, Andrew Holness, is the government's position on making the sex offenders register become public? The country needs to know what the government position is. Blake, welcome. The country needs to know what the government position is on the issue. Because Delroy Chuck have one, BABSY Grange have one. It turns out that at the protest, BABSY Grange was criticizing Delroy Chuck because Delroy Chuck is the one who told us, Annie, that we cannot make it published because it tantamount to punishing them twice. Dr. Mario Morning. So we need a clear position from the government as to what their position are on the issue, because we don't know. There's conflict as to position at the moment when it comes to BABSY Grange and Delroy Chuck. So this is a matter that the government need to be open and honest with the public on, if they can at all. But given the severity of this current situation with Kelsey and a plethora of others, we need to know who these people are and where they are. And the government need to tell us whose position are you taking? Are you taking Delroy Chuck's position? Or are you taking BABSY Grange's position? But isn't it ironic that the government is making all these promises when its life is really coming to an end? I mean, look how long we've been calling for the publication of the sex offenders registry. It is not the first we have a situation like this. This reinvoke the sentiments, but we've been calling for that for quite some time. And the government has been very deaf ears on the issue. No election is coming. BABSY Grange is telling us we're looking into making it public. Is the minister lying to us, Marjorie Morning? Is the minister lying to us as an election ploy to sweeten us up, to tell we say, him care about women and him care about the vulnerable. I'm just concerned if the minister is lying. That's what she could have called the other minister name. She said some. That some we know is Delroy Chuck. Tony Wright, morning. That some we know is Delroy Chuck. He was the one who was the greatest person pushing back on the sex offenders register be made public. So there's a conflict with the government at the moment on the issue. And it's for the Prime Minister to make the position clear to the country, because Delroy Chuck upon the pedophile side, BABSY Grange seemed to be, and this is in quote, on the side of women and children. Stacey, and how you do? Melissa Green, how morning. BABSY Grange, don't know if it's an election ploy, but seem to be on the side of the vulnerable, while Delroy Chuck is on the side of the pedophiles. It's then now for the Prime Minister to give the country a clear, Cathy Reid morning, a clear position as to where the government stands. Are you reviewing it, as BABSY says? Did you hear one protester say this happened to the nurse because George wrong? No, me never hear that bit. But liberate really tend to tolerate violence anyway, because we can see the advancement of it even within them own circle. Jamrock, how you do? But the Prime Minister need to be honest with the nation for once. This is a matter that concerns our children, Prime Minister. Even though we know you don't too care, but the fact that you don't too care don't mean so you don't care. And it's a issue of high national importance, Prime Minister Chelsea Clinton. It's an issue of high national importance. We need to know it goes to the heart of protecting the vulnerable. The nation is confused by Delroy Chuck's position and BABSY Grange's utterance. Who should we listen to, Prime Minister, and who should we believe? Because so far, under the ministerial code, the government, Prime Minister, has two separate positions, because a minister of the cabinet speaks on behalf of the government. So we have two different conflicting positions, Prime Minister, running side by side. Who do we walk with is the question. So we're asking for clear guidance from the Prime Minister on the matter of the publication of the sex offenders registry. Why is the Prime Minister refusing to speak on the matter? Rosemary Samuels. Why is the Prime Minister reluctant to speak on the matter? Why is the Prime Minister so reluctant to protect the most vulnerable amongst us? Who is the Prime Minister protecting? Who is Delroy Chuck protecting? Themselves, their friends, allies of theirs? What about the children, though, Prime Minister? What about the children? That is the greatest question we all need to be asking them. What about the children? We're quite clear, Delroy Chuck says, no, we can't punish the pedophiles twice. But what about our children who are being raped, Mr. Chuck? What about our children who are being killed by these very people that the Minister of Justice thinks? Letting the public know that that is, in Jovans Ellis' case, a predatory pedophile. John Brown, how you do? We need a position from the Prime Minister. You told us you elect a Prime Minister to run the country, and you must hold the government accountable, Colleen, says Andrew Holness. You, Andrew Holness, says, when you elect a government, you elect a Prime Minister and is a Prime Minister run the country. So how is it when you ought to speak to us, you're so reluctant? But when it's about insulting us, Prime Minister, like calling us bad man and stray dogs and all that, you're not afraid to just dish it out at us. The Prime Minister have a daughter, Renice Nicholson. Many of you don't know, but the Prime Minister does have a daughter. I wish one day the Prime Minister could speak candidly and publicly about his daughter. I know you have a daughter, Prime Minister, don't you? I know even the baby mother for your daughter, Prime Minister. Leave that aside. But we need a position. Can you find that clip? Which clip you want me to find, Jamrock? If it's the one where Andrew Holness say you elect a leader and is a leader around the country, I don't think I have it now, but I'm sure Carlos have that clip, because Carlos always plays it. So I'm sure Carlos have that clip, but I don't have that clip to hand. But I remember, because Carlos played so often, I remember the Prime Minister utterances. But no, Douglas Hutchins, morning. Thanks for the share. But no, the Prime Minister is in hiding from the nation. The Prime Minister cannot speak on any matter at all. Then why did we elect Andrew Holness to run the country when so much that we are confused by, and we have, yes, he have, and he have just deaf ears to us? It's like Andrew Holness is running a country that belongs to him. Rowan Perry, how are you? Andrew Holness just around the country like it belongs to him. See the whole debacle will fall out in the Jamaica Labour Party. Everybody is calling out Andrew Holness, yard and abroad. Andrew Holness is being called out. Yard and abroad. Andrew Holness has been called out. I think this was made public by the state of their compound. I don't think this is the full document though, but I will try to fluff my way through these fine writing, because I really don't read fine writing well. I'll try to pull it up on the screen and make my way through it. But this is a document, from the United Nations. And this is basically calling out the government of Jamaica. As I understand the document, I may be wrong. Juliet Lynch, beautiful, good morning. Colin, good morning. I may be wrong, but from my understanding, the Minister of Ribbon Cutting and Breaking Grounds. From my understanding, Keith Matthews, the government has been called out by the United Nations for its non-compliance. It may be something different, but my brain understands it that way. It doesn't mean say exactly so it go. But how my brain understand it, me have to talk you. If me talk you another way, to go confuse me. But I think this is a calling out of the government. And I'll try to read it for you, even with my body eye. Why I think it's why I don't think it's a full document, because it started with a bullet point. So I think this was, hold on. This was the bit that was published, but there ought to be another piece to this document, I believe. Let me try to read it for you. Lack of effective and meaningful consultation with Indigenous Maroon communities on any projects or legislative or administrative measure that may affect their land, territory, or resources, with a view to obtain their free, prior, and informed consent, particularly considering the constitutional reform. The community is concerned that the allegation regarding the situation in the indigenous communal land forest in Quickstep is verified, if verified rather, would infringe rights protected under the Indigenous Maroon community under the International Convention on the Elimination of all form of racial discrimination, including the right to own, develop, control, and use communal lands, territory, and resources. Furthermore, the committee is concerned about the reported excessive use of force by law enforcement officials against members of the indigenous people in light of Quickstep event. At the end of July 2024, and the members of the indigenous communities, including human rights defenders, became target of intimidation and harassment as a consequence of their work to promote and protect the rights of indigenous communities. Lastly, the community is concerned about the community is concerned about the lack of effective and meaningful consultation with the indigenous Maroon communities on any project or legislative or administrative measures, particularly the constitutional reform that may affect their land, territory, and resources with a view to obtain free, prior, and informed consent. In this regard, the committee recalls in previous conclude observation concerning Jamaica and its general recommendation on the rights of indigenous people. In accordance with Article 9, Paragraph 1 of the Convention and Article 65 of its rule and procedures, the committee requests the state party to provide information on the above-mentioned allegation, particularly the situation of the indigenous Maroon people and the event of last July 2024 by the 1st of August, Andrew Holness, 2025. You must provide information to the United Nations, to the convention, on the committee on that, rather. Allow me, Excellence, to reiterate the wishes of the committee to continue to engage a constructive dialogue with the government of Jamaica with a view to ensure the effective implementation of the convention. Please accept, Excellencies, the assurance of my highest consideration. In my view, Andrew Holness has been called out here for his non-compliance. In a video, you can see where the police return the lumber. Really? Can you send me that video, Beat and Teach? Lindval Henry, how are you? The real sweet. How are you? So, as all of us, for real, how are you? As all of us know Andrew Holness, Bennett Beckford, as a violator, constitutional violator, a non-complier, a corrupt, no integrity politician. Hold on there. No. Hold on. This is a video of the nurse's explanation. Let me get it into the studio for you. Tag me back the one about the lumber Beat and Teach. Me not see it. Hold on, let me put this in a studio. This is the nurse's explanation. Bear with me, my peeps. Just bear with. Let me get this fixed. This is the nurse's explanation. Sorry about that. This government, where the money, where the minister get and not give the indigenous people. This is what a lot of people don't know, you know. Abina, there are so much money that the government under BABSY's office collect from international donors on behalf of the indigenous people of Jamaica. And these people are not benefiting a dime from it. But yet still the government Andrew Holness want to take over their land. Never before Andrew Holness have we had a government since independent that is in conflict with the Maroon community. Never have we have a standoff between the Jamaican government and the Maroon community, barring Andrew and Fitif lumber and land. A stealing cost this war, you know. The face-off between the Maroon community and Andrew Holness is because Andrew wants to steal the people's land. It is for no other reason. Hold on, let me screen record this. I'm gonna have to stay silent a bit. 1 second, my peeps. This government is a serial violator. Raymond G, how you do? As I regularly say, it's because we weren't paying attention to Andrew Holness. We were blinded by the gimmicks. Andrew Holness has been like this for quite some time. Andrew Holness has always been a bitter, bad mind, narcissistic, insecure person. And this is why him run the country down and him run him very own party down. Look at what's going on in his party. Look at what is going on in the Prime Minister's country and tell me. I think Floyd Green, Matthew Samuda, and who else says it best, Prime Minister? Your team, Prime Minister, listen to your team. They said it best at the moment.
I truly believe our political system needs some fixing. Too much you hear about corrupt politicians and nothing happen. Too much you hear about politicians who take away poor people money and none of them reach in jail. And to the young people at home or wherever you are, and to all Jamaicans, I have one question for you. Take a look at your communities. Take a look at the sliding dollar. Take a look at the failing healthcare and ask yourselves, where is the progress? Where is the progress that this arrogant and disrespectful government keeps talking about? With this existing callous government, matters have gone from bad to worse.
Rush, good morning. I think Matthew Samuda says it best. I think Matthew Samuda says it best. With this existing callous government, matters have gone from bad to worse. With this existing callous and Jeholdness government, matters have gone from bad to worse. Has it not, though? Is it not what our experience is? Isn't that our experience? Under Andrew Holness, matters has gone from bad to worse. Now, zoom it down to the Jamaica Labour Party. It is the party which formed government to run the country. The party is led by Andrew Holness and Horace Chang. The country is led by Andrew Holness and Horace Chang, Defense Minister, National Security Minister, Prime Minister. They're all one of the same. Look at the dismal rundown of the Jamaica Labour Party and then take it to a broader scale of the country. Labor rights! And tell me if Andrew Holness isn't a mammoth failure. One of the biggest failure we have seen in our lifetime, isn't it? He has been given the opportunity, Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, how you do, to make a difference. But what Andrew Holness has done, it's make it worser. The Prime Minister has not performed in any area at all that he or his cronies can explain to us that Andrew Holness performed well there. Because if the economy, Prime Minister, was doing fine, the only people that benefited from the economy doing fine is those who got a 300% pay rise, Prime Minister. Winston Sinclair, morning. It is those, Prime Minister, who got the 300% pay rise. Those are the people, RJ, that could go around and talk about a good economy. For the rest of us, Prime Minister, even though you may have raised the minimum wage substantially as to what it was, but the hike, Prime Minister, in inflation and cost of living rub it out, isn't it? It rub out. You're galang in. What area, may I ask, Colleen Richards, that Andrew Holness has performed in? What area has Andrew Holness performed in? barring thieving. We know him thief well. We know he did well on corruption. Cousin Myrna, how you do? We knew the Prime Minister did well on corruption. We know the Prime Minister did well on stealing, that we are quite sure of. And we can speak it without any fear of any lawsuit, Prime Minister, isn't it? We know the Prime Minister did well on corruption. We know the Prime Minister did well on destroying the roadways in our country, Prime Minister, haven't you? By cutting or throwing the road maintenance fund under the bus. We know this Prime Minister took tractors and bulldozers to our houses. We know this Prime Minister take Metro Police to our stalls and our goods. Where, in what area, may I ask, have this Prime Minister performed? Is the question. And so hold on, may I actually right the one total question, the one dege question I've been asking. I mean, not asking and talking, you know, kind of saying successful. Uno say the Prime Minister successful. Uno say is the best, better Prime Minister we've ever had. Thank you very much, Joan. This passed me, I mean, never even see. You uno say is the best, better Prime Minister we ever, you know, sliced bread. We used to just broke bread and tough it down with God, but now we're picking up bread by the slice. That's the type of Prime Minister he is. What has the Prime Minister done that you are going to be able to point back to 50 or 100 years from now to say, that was because of Andrew Holness, why your children, why generation of children, Prime Minister, are benefiting? What is it, can you say, that the Prime Minister has performed well in? What is the Prime Minister social implementation policy that lift Jamaicans out of poverty? If the economy was so good, Prime Minister, do you think you would have to come out here every day and try to fool us about, I have to spend all this time getting the economy right, and when you get the economy right, you can do all the things them what you want to do? How come we cannot yet, Prime Minister, benefit from the ribbon? You mean the ribbon and the shovel of sand where I dig from under our foot, then Catburn come tell us, say, oh, that sand looks sandy, isn't it? Is that what you're really talking about? The ribbon and the dirt? Because that's all we get to know. We see ribbon type and wire fence, ribbon type and pipeline, ribbon type and unfinished building. Ribbon just ties so. Andrew said the economy is doing well, Andrew Bird. No, Mrs. So. Andrew said, for the first time, we can't do things on off a trust na bar. One anybody hear when he says so? Andrew said we can't turn up and 1 2 foot now. We have put 2 grape in our mouth, we pass the worst, says the Prime Minister. Andrew says so, JP, how you do? Andrew says so. But if the economy is good, was good, then the only people benefit from the good economy, Mr. Davis, the only people benefit from the good economy was those who got their 300% pay rise. Barring them, nobody else can come up here and tell us that I have benefited from the good economy. Look how the Prime Minister take NHS and play Dolly House with NHT. Sexy K, how you do? Look how the Prime Minister take NHT and play Living Dolly House with it. The Prime Minister takes 650 million give him friend when NHT, the core of NHT, wasn't to build development in uptown areas and all that. No, if you understand what NHT was about, NHT was to de-ghettoize Jamaica. That was the core value of the NHT, the de-ghettoization. You crooked politicians who for years under both parties failed to use NHT money to develop the garrisons, which that was the core value of NHT, to get rid of the zinc fence and the shock communities in where Uno have on a political majority politician on both sides of the fence. Floyd Shaw, how you do? Ivan Johnson. NHT money have been diverted into madness. Even supermarket people may have made to be understand where they, everybody knows say, walk not in a supermarket. Me hear say a supermarket people have to pay NHT contribution. Supermarket workers are pay NHT contribution. Under this current NHT regime, supermarket work if teacher and police and doctors struggle to get pan the property ladder under the current NHT. But you think supermarket worker would have to cut their eye and pass, Then literally would have to cut them eye and pass. And this is why I have always, before Mark Golden's budget, I have always been going at Andrew Holness when he talks about the social housing bullshit, because there's not another way to explain it, because that's what it really is. That the Prime Minister hoot and toots around the country, indigent and poor, which is the same thing, and the man who does a doctorate doesn't know that using indigent and poor next to one another, you're double speaking, Prime Minister, aren't you? But you want if it's so nuffer, because you want thief more, you damn city puss. So you make it sound like you're helping two class of people, the indigent and the poor. And then they add another one to it, which is the needy. All the fucking same, you dumb bunch of skunk. The poor, the indigent, the needy are one of the same. Thief in government. So if you come to we like say, help different class of people for thief more money found we into kickback. It's all the same. Colin James, Vernon Adams. It is all the same. This government is a racketeering. But let me get back to the nurse's explanation of the incident. Thieving Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, the kitty. Puss, puss, puss. Me our Prime Minister, come. Bloody hell. This guy have no shame, no integrity, no ambition. Anybody with any integrity, the brouhaha with Andrew inner with corruption, lack of integrity, just of his own self, not even those who encampeth around the Prime Minister, like the Grace MacLean and the Wheatleys and the Reeds and you know the general thieves that encampeth around the Prime Minister. Denton Gale, how are you? Hold on, let me know, YouTube, if you can hear anything, because it told me on my side that my system has lost connection with the audio. Can you hear anything? Okay, you can hear. Thanks. Oh, can you hear my voice? Not hearing the video. Can you hear my voice though? Sound go in and out. Okay, you can hear my voice. I wonder if I can refresh this and get it back to you properly. Let's try again. Let's try again, and when it starts, let me know on YouTube if you can hear it properly, because TikTok is hearing it properly, but I think that the problem is on the YouTube studio. Can you hear now? Okay, Jamrock is hearing. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Lawrence. What, this is a previous encounter you're saying, Beat and Teach, with a different lady, but is it with the same businessman? Is it with the same Robert Bell? This incident this woman is explaining, is it with the same Robert Bell, but not the nurse? Wow. So Robert Bell is a serial road rager, isn't he? And uh, Robert Bell got licensed firearm needs to be um the license needs to be rescinded. Robert Bell firearm license needs to be rescinded, because if his firearm license is to go around intimidating women with a gun, that's how weak of a man that Robert Bell is. It must be revoked. Fast car, thank you. It must be revoked because this is now 2 incidents of Robert Bell using his gun and his car as a dangerous weapon, which they are, Mr. Bell. I wonder if his gun license was issued under Dennis Meadows' tenure or under Shane Darling's tenure. Whoever, though, issued a firearm license to Robert Bell, it must now be revoked. It was not for protection, it is rather for intimidation. And that is not the purpose of having a firearm license. We're calling on the firearm license authority with immediate effect to revoke the firearm license of Robert Bell. It is not used for protection, it is used for intimidation, mainly against women. For that reason, the FLA should revoke Robert Bell firearm license with immediate effect. There ought to be no investigation done in this. There are now two, now that I know, how are you? There are now two clear incidents where Robert Bell uses his licensed firearm to intimidate women. This must stop. This must stop. This is a friend of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, this is your friend. This is your associate Prime Minister. George Wright, your MP Prime Minister. Zita, how are you? It should have been revoked already, Rush. I agree with you. But if they have not, they must revoke it immediately because he is not using his firearm license for the purpose he obtained it for. Firearm license authority. You know what I need to do? What I need to stop sell gun license. Yes, we know firearm license authority that you all sell gun license. We know you all expose yourselves. You remember that debacle between Shane Darling and Dennis Meadows in 2022, I believe. Wayne Evans, how are you doing, my friend? You remember that disgraceful debacle between Shane Darling and Dennis Meadows. We know you all sell gun license. Is this one of the bought gun license? Is this one of the gun license, Shane Darling or Dennis Meadows, that you or a previous FLA head would have sold to Robert Bell? Because on his temperament, I cannot see Robert Bell be approved for a gun license. Somebody who cannot hold his temper, somebody who think that woman is his beating stick, and even with his two hands, he's afraid to approach a woman with his two hands. Dennis Hilton, how are you? Is it Lenny Shim? Is it Shim? Morning. Thanks for the follow. If Robert Bell gun license have not yet been revoked, the FLA must do that with immediate effect. The FLA must also stop selling gun license. The FLA must stop selling gun license, because Robert Bell would have to be one of the gun license, the bought gun license holder, isn't it? Because Robert Bell is not the person who's got the temperament to have a gun license. He cannot keep his bloody temper. He's a bloody drunk, isn't he? So Robert Bell, who by this gets into a road rage, should not have a licensed firearm. Robert Bell shouldn't be driving because Robert Bell is a drunk. A weak Robert Bell, weak Chasey. Robert Bell is a weak old jellyback man. Weak as they can come. That's why Robert Bell would I even have the thought of pulling a weapon on an unarmed woman. Michael is saying no sound. No sound from me. Can anyone hear me on YouTube? 2 people are saying no sound. My studio is playing up. Hold on. All over TikTok, may I get violation? Sound good. Okay, whoever not hear me, tell them to refresh them screen for me, please. Type in the chat and tell them to refresh them screen. My live has been flagged for harassment and bullying. Who am I harassing and who am I bullying? May I ask? TikTok, can you tell? TikTok, leave me alone, man. I'm not tired for the fuckery. I don't keep up fuckery, so. Leave me alone, TikTok. Robert Bell is jellyback. Because for Robert Bell to continuously, because if I truly call Robert Bell is jellyback, TikTok. You don't know Robert Bell, but we know who Robert Bell is. And because Robert Bell, TikTok, regularly goes around with his firearm, intimidating women, he's jellyback. So I don't know if I irritate your TikTok because I don't see what I say. What did I say for TikTok to give me a violation? Robert Bell is jellyback. It's only a jellyback man. It's only a useless man. Hit a woman, never mind pulling a gun on a defenseless woman. He is jellyback, TikTok. So if I that hurt you, may I go say it more and more. What you think? He is a friend of the PM, all drunk. Well, the whole of them are drunkard and thief and criminal, the amount of crime. You see, what I notice with these people, because I notice it in the higher echelons of society. When I used to work in the NHS, I noticed particularly with doctors, especially the surgeons, they couldn't leave work in the evening without heading straight for the pub. And I think it's because of the wickedness a lot of these people do. They have to be under the influence of alcohol to blot out some of the wickedness, because they are human, believe you me. We might think they're not, but they are human. And the wickedness that they do to us, you cannot continuously stay in a sober mind to do it, because you're human. That's why you see most of them are alcoholic or they take drugs. Because when you put your head on your pillow, you see, during the day you can be busy and you can do all sorts of things that distracts the mind. Put your head on the pillow at night, the mind takes over control. And this is why half of them goes to sleep drunk. Because the evil, and this is why my whole time of law school, I had no intention of going into the legal profession, because I know there's a lot of wickedness that goes on in this profession. It may be seen to the world as this great profession. Yes, in the legal field, a lot of us do good things, but there are demons. There are crooks. Ask Xavier Main about it. Not many Jamaican lawyers are an Isaac Buchanan who will take up your case and fight it for justice, not for money. Not many lawyers are like that. You are being literally trained at law school to go after the money. So that's why them people there, what you see in a high society, that's why I mean, aspire to high society, you know, because I want to live with a clean heart and a clear conscience. I want to go to bed at night. A lot of the people I do free immigration work for, I could be milking them. If I'm doing such work, I shouldn't be charging under £75 per hour. I could be charging more, but that's the minimum I ought to be charging. And I sit down and I do all of these free. I know people who is not even experienced on me with immigration case. Lawyers will take people money and frick up them case. It's a wicked world out there. These people who you see them put in front of with the lawyers, the doctors and the judges, and those who we must aspire to. We're aspiring to the helm of wickedness. Because when you are in training, it will sound to you like something to aspire to. But when you actually start to go to the practical of the thing, you realize you're amongst demons. And that's why I mean, aspire to certain things in our life. I mean, I love the fine things in life. Me is very ghetto. Me is very village. Me is very underclass. And me is very poor. And me all right with it like that, because the people them were run down wealth and success are not always happy. And them can't prove to me say them happy. So me all right with me then. Me not run down when me can't manage. Because when you take up certain life and you have to live up to the ethics of society where you pick up. Sometimes I'm mad somehow, you know. Sometimes you know have to thief and tell lie and commit crime to stay there. Andrew Holness is a perfect example, isn't it? You know, that barefoot boy from the one-room, two-room board house from Cumberland Road that owed student finance when he graduated, but overnight, 27 years in politics, have become a billionaire. Thank you for being here this morning. That was the Global TV rant. But in all, the question to the government is, what on earth, Hyacinth Cody, is your position on the publication of the sex offenders register? Thank you for being here on Global TV this morning. Lovely to have your support. As always, if you are new to the program, please give us a follow and a subscription so when we go live the next time, you will be notified. Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon from the Global Television Group.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out, I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. But throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man, throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.